Looking back at your high school basketball statistics, you played great. You set a school record of 1,768 career points at Plainfield, and that still remains the highest. You led Plainfield to a Class 3A state championship in the 1998-99 season. In that season, you were the Mr. Basketball runner-up. In your senior year, you were an Indiana All-Star. That led you to a 4-year career at Michigan. In those 4 years, you played 114 games. Over those games, you averaged 4.9 points per game, 1.3 total rebounds per game, and 1 assist per game. How has your past basketball career helped you coach up to this point?
Well, I think being just a person that's played on a number of different basketball teams growing up through middle school, AAU summer basketball, high school, and then college, you get to experience different roles on different teams. You mentioned before in high school, won a state championship and was runner-up in Mr. Basketball, so was one of the better players on the team. Scored a lot of points in high school. Then you go to college and you make the adjustment and you play a different role. I was primarily a shooter in college, played shooting guard. Some years I played a lot, other years I didn't play as much. So you learn a lot about yourself when you play on different teams. You learn how to be a good teammate, and you learn how to relate to players. So I think that helps in coaching because I've played on a lot of different teams, and I know on each individual team there's guy 1 through guy 12, and all of them are important, and all of them have different needs and different ways to be motivated in coaching.
During your coaching career with the Quakers, you helped lead them to 8 consecutive winning seasons. You also helped lead them to a Class 4A regional championship. What expectations do you have set for Mooresville this year?
Well, I think there's a lot of returning players. So we have a chance to have some success this year. But the biggest thing in year one is creating a culture that the community can be proud of, that the players can understand and embrace, and go from there.
What are some of your greatest strengths as a basketball coach?
Greatest strengths, I think, are putting people in correct positions. So understanding what players do well and understanding what my coaching staff does well. I think as a head coach, it's important to delegate different assignments to different people. So players can be clear about what their roles are. Coaches can know what their roles are, and communicating and building relationships with the players and coaches.
How would you describe your style of coaching?
I like to play fast-paced. I like to get the ball out and go, let the players have some freedom to push the basketball, try to score in transition. I like hardcore defense, players flying around and playing with each other, all 5 players playing together. So, for instance, if there's a drive on the baseline and a player gets beat, another player rotates over and helps out. I like to push the pace in full court defense, press a lot, and get back and play solid man-to-man defense.
What have you done to improve yourself as a coach since your last season?
Well, I think there's always room to improve. I think from year to year, you can pick 1 or 2 specific things to work on. Coming over here from Plainfield, transitioning from an assistant coach to a head coach, I think just being able to make decisions. I've always been a part of the decision-making process, but never been that one person to make the final stamp on a decision. So that's been a change from last year to this year.
How have you gotten to know some of your players so far?
Well, I've got to know them through our workouts that we've had right now. We're in the fall, so we're allowed to practice twice a week, and the other 2 days a week we are conditioning. So just being around them, getting to know them through practices and conditioning.
What do you think is the best way to motivate your players when facing adversity?
I think putting players through challenges and practices and conditioning is one way that you can really get players to stay together. If they've done hard things in practices, hard things in conditioning, and when things get hard in games, they've been through it before. So preparing them, making practices and conditionings harder than the game situations is a big key for that.
Thank you for your time, Coach. I look forward to seeing the team out there this year.
All right, thank you guys very much.